tell you, I am pregnant. So today I wanted to do a get ready with me. It's not gonna be super life-changing, my makeup today. It's gonna be super familiar to what I usually wear. I'm actually gonna kind of recreate the makeup that I did while I was in Disney. So, and also talk about some symptoms I've been feeling in early pregnancy in the first trimester. So I have my phone out with my long list of symptoms that I've had. I feel like I've pretty much been like textbook pregnancy. Every symptom that I've had, I've basically seen online that it's normal. So I'm gonna go over that. I have not been feeling good. This is like the first day where I actually feel like I can get up and get ready a little bit. So to start, I already put this on my face. It is the e.l.f. green primer to tone my skin, make sure everything is, you know, corrected if my face gets very red usually. And now I'm going in with the Estee Lauder Futurist Hydra Rescue Foundation. This is in shade Desert Beige, and see, it's like almost out. I used this while I was in Disney, so Estee Lauder is seriously the way to go in the Florida heat if you want to wear some makeup without it wiping off. I'm just gonna do dots on my forehead. Okay, so to get started, where do I start? We found out, or I found out that I was pregnant the day before, I believe, I went to Disney World. So we had planned this trip kind of spur of the moment. I mean, it was only like a month or so of planning, so, you know, it was kind of last minute, especially for a Disney trip. And I found out the day before because I really was feeling some symptoms and I was like, I really feel like I might be actually pregnant. So I took a test. Of course, it came out positive, was like so happy, freaking out. I wanted to take it before Disney just because I wanted to tell my parents and my in-laws and some people in person before I went. That's just a personal preference, but I'm glad I did it that way. And then we had kind of celebrated in Disney. I'm using the Tarte Ultra Creamy Concealer. This is definitely my favorite concealer of all time. It is in the shade 22N, which is light neutral. You definitely need it in the inner corner and like right here and on the out. And then lip, and I put it a little bit like right here. Sorry if I'm looking over here, I'm looking at a mirror while I put this on. So Disney, I was nervous to go only because I know that, you know, women can have morning sickness. I was kind of thinking for me, like, yeah, like I get nauseous a lot. I probably will have some sort of morning sickness, but my mom actually didn't at all when she was pregnant with me and my brother. She was like, didn't have like any symptoms at all. So I was like, okay, well maybe, hopefully I'll take after her and be okay. So I was like, well, whatever happens, happens, you know, it's no big deal. Yeah, I mean, so I felt nauseous the entire trip. I made the best out of it. It definitely wasn't like the same sort of trip that we're used to where we just kind of go, go, go all the time. I definitely had to take my breaks. I had to go back to the hotel in the middle of the day, and then if I was feeling like it, going back at night. I was definitely exhausted and super sick, nauseous. It wasn't just the morning, it was all day and night. And yeah, that part was not fun. But I mean, obviously in Disney World, you can always find a little bit of magic and a little bit of fun there. So it was a good trip. But yeah, I was thinking I was like six to 7 weeks in Disney. Right now I'm 7 weeks. So I thought I was 8 weeks given like my last period, but apparently not. Okay, next I'm using the Milk Makeup setting powder. This is Blur and Set. It's my favorite. I used it a bunch of times. I'm about 7.5 weeks, almost 8. When I was in Disney, I was 6 weeks. So my morning sickness really started then. But actually before we went to Disney, I had some symptoms. The first thing, I would say it was like the normal amount of breast tenderness that you would get like before your menstrual cycle, what I had. And I also remember walking into church and feeling so weird because I would have this weird cramping, and this started like 4 or 5 weeks, like it started really early, and it was odd cramping. It felt kind of like period cramps, but it was like very odd types of cramps. And I was like, okay, what is this? I've never felt this before. And it was just kind of like a dull, it kind of was painful cramp that lasted only like a minute or two. Like it was very quick, probably less than that. probably like 30 seconds. I was like, this is so strange, and I never had it before. I was like, okay, this is so strange. Maybe I'm getting my period, I don't really know. Using the NARS Laguna bronzer. That's pretty much the start of my symptoms. I just thought that that cramping was just so odd, and I was like, I need to find out before Disney if I am pregnant. I decided not to film Chris's reaction because I wanted that to be more special and just kind of between us. And I did film my reaction. Just gonna use the same brush, and I have the Tarte Seduce blush. So in Disney, it is so hot. I just kind of left it a little bit minimal. You know, the blush and the bronzer. I wasn't sure how long it would stay on my face. In Disney, like I said, I was very sick. This is when I started experiencing more symptoms. I'm using the Goof Proof Brow Pencil in shade 2.5. I started feeling really bad, like I think the second day I was there. So at least I had a pretty good, pretty normal first day. Though I did notice the first day, I get pretty affected with heat normally. Like I just prefer cooler weather. In Florida though, at this time of year, it is like 90s, like 95. So I just remember feeling overly heated, and I couldn't really walk that far when I always could before. I just went to Disney in September and it was just as hot, and I was fine the entire time. I didn't need any break. So I was like, okay, this is definitely pregnancy. I'm definitely more affected by the heat. And then the second day comes around, and that's when so many more symptoms started. It was crazy. I experienced the first time I've had food aversions, and that was interesting. So picture this, I was at Epcot and going around the world, around World Showcase where all the countries are, delicious food, and you could either eat in a restaurant or eat around the world, basically smaller portion, kind of like snack that you can get at like kiosks outside. So we wanted to do that for dinner, so just kind of like eat around the world or eat wherever we wanted. So I started going and I was like, okay, I can't eat a lot of like deli sort of meats. I can't eat sushi, I don't believe. At that point I was like, I just don't want to risk like anything. A lot of things were like different like seafoods, and usually I am not a picky eater. I will eat pretty much anything. And this trip I was like, yeah, I really want to try like new foods that you don't really eat in America usually, like foods specifically for different countries. That would be really cool. So I was planning on doing that. That didn't work out. I ended up getting some like, I think it was like sort of like a crab rangoon and then kind of like a tomato dish. And I was like, okay, I'm still hungry because at this point I started feeling like, oh my God, I need to eat now or I'm going to like freak out, because the hanger and the hunger that you get comes on so fast and you're like, I need to eat something. So definitely bring snacks with you wherever you go. We ended up going inside the new part of the World Showcase in between, I don't know what it's called, but it's that indoor, not really, it's kind of like a tent area that is in between Canada and England, and experienced food aversions. My first time having food aversions, so I was like, oh, okay, great, they have sliders. I always love a cheeseburger. I'll just get that. And so we ordered it. Both Chris and I got one. We sat down. I was feeling pretty nauseous and I was about to eat. I was like, okay, this food's gonna make me feel better. I feel nauseous already, but you know, I just need to eat something and I'll feel better. And yeah, that was completely wrong of me. I literally took one look at the cheeseburger. I almost gagged. I had to go into the bathroom and was like, I just started crying. I was like, what's wrong with me? I can't eat anything. This is usually so good, and now I just want to, I look at it and I want to like throw up. I don't know what's wrong. And I just started crying, and I was hearing Disney piano music in the background. I was like, this is so beautiful. And I got so emotional. It made no sense, and Chris was kind of laughing but kind of consoling me. Women go through too much. Okay, next, before my face melts off because it's so warm here, I'm using the MAC Prep and Prime. It's the Fix Plus spray, and I'm gonna hold where my eyelashes are. I actually forgot to mention I did get my eyelashes done before I went to Disney, so a lot of them are still on, you can see, which is awesome because I was hoping that would be the case. Some of them did fall off. They're pretty sparse, but it's been over 2 weeks now, so they're doing pretty good still on there. So I'm gonna use the Define-a line brownish black eyeliner, and I always usually do this to line underneath my eye. I swear I'm not doing the like 80s or 90s trend. I do wipe most of it off. This just helps to kind of balance my proportions specifically. So next I'm going to go in with the Lil Ray of Sunshine palette by ColourPop, and I'm going to take a mix of Vitamin D and Blissed Out, these two colors. So I'm just going to put this like on my eyelid and crease area and then underneath my eye too. So yeah, I mean, I had food aversions and that was not super fun. So basically the rest of the trip was pretty much dealing with food aversions, nausea, and I obviously didn't go on a lot of rides. I wouldn't necessarily go if you're pregnant to Disney World. You know, especially in the summertime, because the thing is, you don't really know how the pregnancy is going to play out. You hear all these things, even comparing it if you've been pregnant before. Each pregnancy is so different. You know, next pregnancy I have, maybe I won't have any morning sickness. That would be nice. Since I've been back, I've basically been a couch potato. I've been on the couch the entire time, pretty much, which I'm trying to get some exercise and go for a walk. So I'm just gonna listen to my body because I kind of have to. You know, I'm almost 8 weeks pregnant, so who knows, it kind of changes every day. Next, I'm going in with the CoverGirl LashBlast Volume Waterproof Mascara, and I'm just doing this on the bottom lashes because I have the false lashes above. So yeah, other symptoms I've been feeling, looking at my list, the worst nausea I've ever experienced in my life. Like, it feels, at first, I feel a lot better right now, but at first, the first couple weeks, I felt like I had the flu. I even got COVID testing because I thought it might have been that, and I just felt like I had the flu because I was so tired. And it's not just like I want to sleep tired, like my eyes are tired or anything. It's like my body is just so exhausted and I feel lazy and I feel like I just can't move. Like, that part was not fun. Okay, before I forget, I want to show you the best things in the world basically when you are sick. Obviously eat your bland foods, your toast if you want it. I just kind of craved carbs and really bland food like bread, and let me show you. So Honey Nut Cheerios, not the regular Cheerios. You have to have some sugar in there. For me at least, I needed that. So I have that with fruit, like berries in it every morning. Have my saltines. My goodness, these have helped so much. I would take some and put them over my bed at night so that in the morning, at 5 o'clock in the morning, if I felt so nauseous, I would take one and it would very much help. Ginger ale, this is gone. Ginger ale has been a lifesaver. And honestly, one of the biggest things that's helped me are these. I will try to link them down below. If you are pregnant or know someone that's pregnant, seriously recommend these. I just got them off Amazon, and I actually found them from the What to Expect app. They give recommendations that are really helpful for certain things. This, you know, assist with occasional stomach upset, motion sickness, nausea, morning sickness. So it's natural ginger, like drops. They're kind of like just candies and they taste really good. I like ginger normally, but this is just very good. Oh, actually, I've been craving Kalamata, I don't know how to pronounce it, the olives, the purple one. I have been craving those, so I've been getting some Greek salads. I've been crying more than normal. Obviously, my hormones are kind of all over the place. So crying is totally normal, and getting emotional, you know, you can't help it. Your body is creating so many more, you know, so much more estrogen and progesterone than normal. Another thing is my back kind of hurt, like my lower back. I think a lot of it is because I've been sitting down so much. So obviously I think my back would hurt more, but that is another common symptom. My nails have been very nice. They're not nice right now because I took my polish off, but my nails have been thicker and growing way faster, I've noticed. I've been so clumsy, which normally I kind of am clumsy anyways, but recently I've been so much more clumsy. I'm actually gonna take some liner and put it on my lash line too to thicken that up. I mentioned overheating, that's another huge one. Oh, so dizzy and out of breath. A lot of women, when they stand up, they get dizzy. That hasn't happened a lot with me. It's more of, I think when I was walking so much when I was in Disney, the heat really bothered me and I was just like it made me feel a little bit dizzy and I was definitely getting out of breath. So definitely listen to your body. It knows what it needs. I'm putting on a couple dots of freckles from the ColourPop freckle pen just because you can kind of see my freckles. They're kind of covered by foundation, but I had so many freckles from being in the sun from Florida and I really like the look. So I'm just gonna literally draw over my freckles right now. And just a couple of them. I'm gonna do this color that I wore the whole time in Florida. This is this shade 65 Seductress, and I've actually had this for a while. Okay, that is the finished makeup look that I wore a lot in Disney. I probably spent more time on it today just because I could. I was kind of doing it quickly in the morning because we woke up pretty early every day to get to the parks for park open. Oh my gosh, I just broke that. This is what I mean by being super clumsy. I hope that helped you if you are pregnant. I know that, you know, even before I got pregnant, I was watching so many different videos to just kind of figure out what I could feel, what was normal, things like that, what to expect. And it really helped me, so I wanted to kind of jump on here and just kind of talk about some things that I felt, you know, in early pregnancy. Of course, this goes without saying, as bad as I felt, and I felt really bad, I wouldn't trade it because I know that, first of all, there is a little baby growing in me and this is so normal. My doctor even told me that she's glad to hear that I'm so sick because this is just super natural. This is normal. It shows my HCG levels are normal and all my hormones are normal because I'm feeling it. So there you go. That is how I've been feeling for the past couple weeks. And I'm sure I will be even more excited once I start feeling like myself again, which right now I am feeling pretty good and I hope it stays this way. It probably won't. There's the little baby. The gray part right here. The first appointment that I had was basically just an overview, just talking about my symptoms. She recommended a prenatal, and then I had my ultrasound and blood work done. The ultrasound went really good. We're not gonna find out the gender until the birth, which is, I should say, we are trying not to find out the gender until the birth. So hopefully my eyes don't look super wonky with the lashes, the older lashes, I should say. And by the way, for the makeup, I highly recommend dosing yourself again with setting spray once everything is done if you're in a really hot climate like Florida, because my makeup did stay on all day, I'm not gonna lie, but you really need that extra amount of setting spray to do the job and make it stay. So I was very happy with the choices that I made with makeup, so definitely I would recommend using products like what I have used. Also, when we were in Florida, we stayed at the Coronado Springs Resort. I loved that resort. It was so relaxing. A lot of it, there's still obviously kids there and everything, but it is quiet. It's a quiet resort. It's never loud. That resort is one of the resorts that is commonly used for like conferences, so a lot of business groups go there. I know I think it was the MBA stayed there, and I was wondering if they stayed in our suite because our suite was so nice. But yeah, that is gonna finish off my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that if you're pregnant and you're going through what I went through with the morning sickness, just know that it gets better. Just remember that you are not sick with the flu. Your body is doing what it naturally is supposed to do. Everything is happening for a reason. So just try to relax as much as possible. Another thing is, I feel like these last couple weeks were like a year long. It felt like it's been going by so slow for some reason. I've only known that I've been pregnant for what, like 2 weeks now, and it just feels like it's been months. Oh, last thing, pregnancy brain is real. Yesterday I could not remember anything. Like I would talk and I would be like so excited about something and then be like, what was I talking about? What was the point of this? Then like my mind just completely goes blank and I'm like, okay, I'm too young for this. What is going on? It's definitely real. Pregnancy brain is real. So I'm gonna leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm sure I'll be trying my hardest to put out some more videos soon. Take care, guys. Bye.